Before I start the video, please subscribe to my channel, and if you like this video, please click the like button. I'm going to quickly go over the third quarterly earnings call, or as I like to call it, Bob's quarterly BS. And basically this quarter they discussed the flagging attendance at the parks without exactly addressing them. However, if you read between the lines, you hear things like, well, the international parks are rebounding. What you're not hearing is that the domestic parks are not rebounding, and that Bob does not expect them to rebound anytime soon. The reason why this is important, and the reason why the stock tanked and lost about $4 on Wednesday and did nothing to recover, it finished Friday at $86.21, is because Parks and Experiences account for 50% of the revenue of Disney. Out of that, 70% of that revenue is the domestic parks. And then 70% of domestic revenue is Magic Kingdom. And currently Magic Kingdom is tanking. And Bob has no idea how to fix this. Perhaps, Bob, you should try that turbocharging that you've been talking about. Where's that $60 billion? So far, all you've done is spent $150 million and probably $100 million more to fix Tiana's broken adventure. And if that squares out to Disneyland as well, you're talking about $500 million for basically what was supposed to be an overlay. They haven't changed the structure of the ride at all. They have spent $500 million, or will spend $500 million on basically an overlay for two attractions that weren't broken, and they've managed to break them. Now, one of the main reasons, whether Bob wants to talk about it or not, is that he knows that low-income people are stressed. They've been priced out of the parks. This is not new. This has been going on for a few years. Bob just keeps raising the prices and keeps giving diminished returns, and finally the people with lower incomes, especially when you're talking about Florida, which highly depends on tourism, well, they're not going there anymore. And the other problem is the higher income people, well, they're going to places like Tokyo Disney, where it's actually still Disney instead of Bob Iger Land or Bob Iger World. Another thing you didn't hear in the call is you didn't hear a vision, you didn't hear a direction for Disney or Bob Iger Company at all. There was nothing in there. There was no direction. There's no vision. He has nothing. All he can do is buy things and then break them. And that's what he's been doing. And going back to the parks briefly and why they're so important, if you haven't been paying attention, you've actually had two successful movies. You're going to have Inside Out 2 and Deadpool and Wolverine both make over $1 billion. And it has done nothing to increase the stock market value, because the Wall Street people are beginning to figure out that how much money is made by the studios means nothing compared to what Parks and Experiences makes, and Parks and Experiences are tanking. And it gets worse for Magic Kingdom, because Epic Universe is going to open probably, I'm guessing, first quarter of next year, and they're going to absolutely kill it. I've been looking at the videos for Epic Universe, and it looks awesome, mainly because all the good Imagineers that Disney fired went and worked for Universal. Another thing that was telling is that Disney Plus lost $19 million compared to last quarter when they gained $47 million. Now, both those numbers are kind of skewed because to gain 47 million, Disney basically had to cut all the fat. They didn't release programming that they could have released, and had Disney Plus released Skeleton Crew and Agatha All Along, or whatever the hell that thing's called, Disney Plus would have recorded a $250 million loss, because those two things basically at least cost $125 million each. The next thing is that Bob Iger touted 1.3 million new subscribers for Disney Plus. However, they lost 600,000 subscribers in the United States and Canada, which is mainly where they want to be. And so they only really gained 700,000 subs. The most telling part of that is that the earnings per sub, the revenue per sub, dropped from $8 last quarter to $7.75. Read that as people were either lowering their subscriptions or they were getting free subscriptions from Spectrum. Regardless, they are making less money off of more subscribers, which is a horrible way to do business. Basically, this earnings call was nothing but a complete disaster. Bob tried to BS his way through it as usual. He only took, like 5 questions or something like that. And he didn't even do the statement. They released it. He didn't even read it. He couldn't be bothered because he knew it was so bad. All he did was release it. And then he took a few prearranged questions and then goodbye. And my only question is when are the stockholders actually going to hold him accountable? When are they going to get sick of losing millions of dollars? When are they going to get sick of this company suffering and being torn apart? When? I mean, I'm kind of waiting. If the stock price drops to about $70, I'm betting you're going to see a hostile takeover. I think Elon Musk is waiting in the wings. He's just waiting for the right price tag. And he's going to come back with Nelson Peltz and Ike Perlmutter. Yes, they're out right now. They sold their stock at somewhere between 110 and 120. So they're going to basically, if it drops to 70, they're going to be able to buy almost twice as much stock getting back in as they sold getting out. And you throw Elon Musk in there, he gets about $40-50 million worth of shares. That's a controlling interest. They'll be able to fire the board, they'll be able to fire Bob, and they'll be able to pull a Twitter and completely clean house. And that's basically what needs to happen with Disney right now. It needs to be fired from head to toe and start over, basically. And that's all I've got to say for this video. So like my father told me when I was 18 years old, get out.